Hip-hop is about being able to express yourself. And there's no form more obvious than the visual expression, graffiti. It's illegal and seen by many as vandalism. I went with two graffiti artists, Aim and Raser, from Belfast TMN crew, to get a deeper insight into hip-hop and to learn more about their art form.
For me, the best bit about graffiti would be the buzz when you're doing it. Going out with a lot of boys you get on with and you know, and doing a proper wall and a big production.
Maybe your mates, like you're out with your mates and you're having a laugh sometimes. And it is like there is a bit of a buzz element to it. Getting everything prepared, getting, I don't know, all the paint, everything, whatever, wipes down, your sketches and all that out. Where you're going to paint, your escape, all that there, it's all part of it.
Nowadays, there's a lot more people into it. The cops are on you a lot more. They're trying to catch more people. That'd probably be the biggest danger, but it depends on what you're painting. If you're painting like dodgy areas, you're going to get into trouble, so you tend to try and avoid them.
The worst thing you're going to come across is maybe a few people come back from, like, I don't know, out night drinking or something. So if you're on your own, like a lot of times I have been, I mean, you need to look out for yourself. There's times like walking back at about 5 in the morning and there's no one on the roads and it's the best feeling in the fucking world, to be honest.
I think there needs to be more legal walls, more opportunity to paint without hassle. If the council did that, there wouldn't be half the amount of graffiti illegally painted.
It's just going to get stronger and stronger. As more kids come along every day, you take a bus or whatever and you see like a new tag or you see something else new. I think the future looks bright, maybe. Depending on what way the cops take it, obviously.
The images most associated with Northern Ireland are the sectarian wall paintings. But since the 1980s, crews like TIO, TDS and TMN have been adding colour and style to the place, which at least some locals appreciate.
Have the sectarian murals and stuff like that there all over the place, which I think are crap and don't help anyone at all.
Well, I've travelled quite a bit. Around Europe, and every city you go to, you always see good graffiti. And when you see graffiti, good graffiti, you think, right, there is a subculture here. There is a subculture of skaters, BMXers, graffiti artists.
Within the city, there's definitely much more sort of like artwork, like proper graffiti, but obviously the further out you get, the more it turns into what sort of area you're in, and it's in favour of one paramilitary over the other.
I think the stuff now, the sort of hip-hoppy stuff, it all looks far better. It looks good, it's art, instead of just bigotry and hate.
A couple of crews that are prominent in Belfast, and the artwork that they do is phenomenal. They go out and do their dubs, they go out and do their pieces, and they get mad respect for some of the work that they've done.
I caught up again with Aim and Raser, two of Belfast's most respected graffiti artists. Growing up, they used the art form to forge friendships and gain respect from artists all over Belfast, encouraging them to venture into different parts of the city that would previously have been considered off-limits.
When I grew up, it was like, majority of things was like, the scene around Belfast was like political, sectarian, whatever you want to call it. And then when you seen sort of graph, it was totally something different. It stood out from the wall. You were just used to seeing guns and whatever else, petrol bombs and stuff on TV all the time about killings and murdering, both sides of the border, religion basically. And then when you sort of met graffiti, it took you a different direction. You were glad you met it because you first met it and you weren't writing like kill all Tays, kill all Huns, I mean. It was like you were writing your own name. You met people which were across the divide. You were glad to actually meet them to a certain extent because you were with them, you were mates. And to a lot of people, that would be fucking wrong because they're from a different part of Belfast itself. But when you first met them, to you, that was like the best feeling.
If it wasn't for graffiti, I wouldn't know half the people I know. In this country, it's a bit cross-community. I wouldn't be over, I'm from West Belfast, I wouldn't be over in East Belfast or South Belfast painting or meeting anybody. I wouldn't have a clue. It's broadened me.
We're now nearly 20 years into the peace process, but many communities remain segregated. Few things highlight this more than the so-called peace walls. Now, with attitudes in the city changing and the peace walls due to come down in the next decade, the sectarian slogans of the past are gradually being replaced by a more positive visual message. And it's not just Belfast locals bringing changes to these walls.
This event here is a meeting of styles, so basically the guys in Germany run the meeting of styles approached me to do a jam over here, and we knew this wall was about, so we painted it in April as a tester, and we decided just to come up and just try and knock it all out, mix it up, get people from all over the world here with us today, going to paint this wall. So.
Well, as you're taking your time there, Kellyanne's way off on the final strip.
Being here, you know, you see a lot of comparisons to the States, even with the neighborhoods. You know, America is coming out of a lot of issues, you know, racism, different things, neighborhoods being divided. So you see it here, you know, so here it's more of a religion. Sometimes back home it's more of the color of the skin, and they want to make it into so many things, you know, that it's not, and forget, you know, what it is to be, you know, human and have compassion and, you know, I wouldn't even say tolerance, but just, you know, respect for each other.
I was in Belfast first time in 2005. And the plan was to stay 1 month, but I stayed 6 months. So I think that's the best answer. It's not Bahama, and it's maybe not the safest place to live, you know what I mean? But I reckon it's good. If you like fun, come to Belfast.
So hip-hop progresses, with more graffiti and new crews. The underground scene's growing, and MCs are beginning to get wider media recognition. Filming over the past 8 years, I've seen a lot of changes. And what about AIM and Raser these days? As they grow older, are they still trying to change the look of Belfast?
Still paint because I enjoy being creative, I enjoy making things that I like to look at. I enjoy playing with letters and colours and painting big murals on walls, involving characters with it. And basically just doing what I've done from I was 15 years old.
It's something for me to sort of do now and relax with. Trying to be a bit more natural and really paint from my head rather than painting from a page, really. I'm trying to really go to a wall now and see what happens with the spray can rather than sort of put it together on page.
Personally speaking, I would paint less illegal things, more legal things, spend more time doing it. Nowadays, I think there's more walls where you can do that. Back then, you were struggling for walls that you could spend time at, chill at. Now there's walls popping up all over the city, and there's also more people getting into painting.
Well, compared back to 2005, 2006, a lot of us were sort of getting together and painting a lot more often. I think now it's like, we still need to get out, but it's just getting harder and harder with jobs and fucking babies or, you know, lives and mortgages and all that there sort of stuff. It does take over, and it's hard to sort of push yourself to go out because you've maybe got someone else there to say, here, where the fuck are you going? Or what are you doing? You shouldn't be doing that. So all you still creep out, you know.
The reason I don't do things as much illegally these days is there's too much heat, there's too much cameras, there's too much police. It's so much easier to get caught, but I still do the odd wee bit.
Before sort of like meeting people and growing up, I think I just still feel like a wee bit of like, I've just still got that wee bit of buzz for it. I still like to think that I would like to be painting. I don't know, if I can paint the fucking 70 if I'm still here, that'd be a great thing, you know.
I think it maybe has the perception of being a young man's game, but there's boys I know that are touching 40 and they still paint. I intend to keep painting. I don't think it'll ever be something that I'll stop doing. It's given me a bunch of friends who would be my best friends, and I would still paint with regularly, and I enjoy painting with regularly. But I'll always be doing it, you know. I've been doing it for 12 years now. I'm not gonna stop, you know, anytime soon.